Okay, so the Eagles just got the news that everybody has been waiting for, as the latest Jalen Hurts concussion update all but officially confirms that QB1 will make his return against the Packers. Meanwhile, the Birds also got some amazing news on defense, as despite possibly drawing interest from other teams, it seems that the captain of Philly's #1 ranked defense isn't going anywhere, meaning that the unit should remain scary for years to come. However, the Birds defense will have a challenge this week against the Packers, and it seems that one guy in particular could be an X factor for Green Bay. But even so, why do the Eagles still have the clear edge in this matchup? Well, we're going to talk about that and all the other latest Eagles news starting right now. What's up, guys? Welcome to the Philly Fan 21 channel. If you're new, I'm Evan and I cover all things Philadelphia Eagles. And man, what a time it is to be a Birds fan, because this postseason, Philly has a chance to do something special. I mean, all the regular season success, the big numbers, the amazing plays, and the 14 wins are one thing, and we should definitely be grateful for that. But as great as all that is, we know that the Eagles have their sights set on something much greater. Or as Nick Sirianni says,
I ain't into winning 10, 11, 12 games. We've been done that here. We've done that there. I want to do special shit. And you can't do special shit alone.
Now, of course, what we're talking about is the possibility of the Eagles going out and winning the Super Bowl. And like I said, they have a very good chance of making that happen. Now, if you ask ESPN, they say that the Eagles have the 5th best odds of any team, with a chance of 8.4% to win it all, which personally, I think that is a little low, especially if you look at the teams and percentages ahead of them on the list. And if you compare the Eagles both offensively and defensively against all those other teams, I think they stack up pretty well. And if you ask me, as an overall unit at their best, I think they're better than any of those teams. I mean, I really do, and I think they have a great shot at beating any of them if they were to match up. And based on these comments on the Anthony Gargano show, respected NFL analyst Brian Baldinger seems to feel the same way.
Matt, I like the Eagles to go 4-0, to be honest with you. I like the Eagles against everybody they match up against.
Whoa. Wait a second. So you like the Eagles to go 4-0 in the playoffs? So you like him against Tampa?
I like him against everybody.
You like him in Detroit?
Yes.
And you like him
I
against...
I don't like Detroit's defense a little bit. I don't like him a little bit.
Baldy's predicting a Super Bowl right now.
Baldy's predicting a parade! I love it.
I'm just saying it's a
parade!
Yeah, so like I said, I'm with Baldy, because I truly do think the Eagles can beat anybody, and I think if they can just stay healthy and play up to their standard on both sides of the ball, then fingers crossed, they should win the Super Bowl. Like, I truly believe that. And if the Birds do make it that far, then let's not forget about the words of the fallen legend Brandon Graham from just around a month ago. As in one of his weekly appearances on WIP Radio, he revealed that he was still holding out hope to make some sort of miraculous return to action in the event that Philly does make it to the big game. And now, fast forward to this week, and ahead of the team's first playoff game, BG was back on WIP again, where he doubled down and still left the door open for a possible return in the Super Bowl.
Is the door still slightly open?
Hey man, anything is possible. I just know right now, man, I'm just grinding. I'm working one game at a time. I'm like, come on, y'all, let's get to this one. Let's get through this one. Let's make sure that we work to make sure that we don't have no hiccups, because we do have a great position that we're in, great team. Man, we just got to make sure that we don't go out there searching for plays.
Yeah.
Let them plays come to you, and let's do it together.
Now, unfortunately, as I said the last time BG made comments like this, the chances of him actually being able to return if the Birds do make the Super Bowl are slim to none, as the normal timetable for recovery of this tricep injury is around 6 months, while the Super Bowl falls about 2.5 months after the injury happened. Plus, the Birds would also have to just make it to the Super Bowl to begin with, so in all likelihood, it's probably just not going to happen. But still, you gotta love BG's optimism, and I don't want to rule it out entirely, so we'll definitely keep an eye on it moving forward, and who knows, maybe a miracle does wind up happening. Oh, and speaking of BG, some followers of this channel may remember a t-shirt that I teased a while back, but I never actually wound up putting up for sale. So long story short, I'm new at the whole merch thing, and I had some issues behind the scenes, and when I had bought one of the samples, I wasn't exactly thrilled with the way that it came out, so I didn't want to sell you guys a bad product. But now I've tweaked things a little bit, and I'm considering putting them up for sale. Now, I am still waiting on a sample to come in, and I don't know exactly how it's going to turn out, but assuming it does look good, would you guys still be interested in maybe buying one of these t-shirts? Please let me know your thoughts down in the comments. But moving on, while a BG return is obviously a long shot, one that is essentially guaranteed at this point is Jalen Hurts, as like I talked about in my video yesterday, all reports and signs were pointing to Hurts returning to practice this week before making his return to the field in this game against the Packers on Sunday. And that was only further reinforced with a roster move that the Birds made yesterday, as they waived quarterback Ian Book, who, if you'll remember, was signed to the practice squad and then called up to the active roster the past 2 weeks as a result of Hurts' concussion. So getting rid of him seems to be a clear sign that Hurts was expected back. And now, just a day later, and that has come true, as for the first time since suffering the concussion back in Week 16, Jalen Hurts was seen back out on the practice field today as the Birds are getting set to face the Packers. And even though, yes, he's still in protocol, that's no reason to worry, as he technically can't clear it until tomorrow morning by reporting no symptoms, so expect that to happen. And again, this is obviously amazing news for the Birds, as it goes without saying that they need Jalen Hurts if they're going to get to where they want to go, and with the Eagles set to face off against the tough Packers defense that ranked top 5 in the league for this season, that makes getting Hurts back even more crucial. And ahead of the matchup, offensive coordinator Kellen spoke on that Green Bay defense and the challenges they present.
Yeah, it shows they're doing an excellent job from a coaching staff standpoint, but also from a player standpoint of really finding their formula. Everyone's always trying to find formulas that work for them. These guys are doing an excellent job. Obviously they're top in a lot of categories. They're doing excellent on third downs. They're keeping the ball in front of them. They're doing a really good job from that standpoint. They're doing some good stuff in the run game to kind of stress you a little bit. And so I think they found a really good formula. You can tell they're playing fast. They're playing confident. Their guys are all tied together. You don't see a bunch of mistakes. You can feel it's a really well-coached team.
The Packers defense certainly has found their formula, as obviously they rank towards the top of the league in pretty much every category for a reason, and they have some really good players at all levels. So as much as I do have a ton of confidence in Jalen Hurts, Saquon Barkley, A.J. Brown, and the rest of the Eagles offense against anybody they go up against, this will certainly still be a tough challenge for this Eagles offense, and one that they have to be ready for. And that also remains true on the other side of the ball, as the Packers offense also presents a big challenge for the Eagles defense, and they have a ton of talented players as well. Starting with the quarterback Jordan Love and his extremely well-rounded receiving cast. And ahead of the game, Eagles defensive coordinator Vic Fangio talked about all those guys and what makes them such a tough matchup.
He's got a big arm. He can throw it to all parts of the field with accuracy and touch. He's got good movement in the pocket. He's elusive. And he really fits their offense. That offense needs a guy that can throw it down the field. He can do that. They need a guy that can scramble a little bit and be elusive. He can do that. He's a perfect fit for their offense.
With that receiving core, what stands out, even with Christian Watson probably out for that game in the foreseeable future?
They're all good. Dobbs is good. Reed is good. The tight end is good. Jacobs gets screens and check downs. They spread the ball around a lot. They got a bunch of guys with around 50 receptions or more. It's hard to focus on one guy.
Like Fangio alluded to, I think what really makes the Packers passing game dangerous is the fact that they just have so many solid weapons that they can go to. So even with a guy like Christian Watson going down with a serious injury, as unfortunate as that is, the Packers still do have a bunch of other guys that can supplement his production to a degree and just play at a high level. That being said though, Watson's absence still definitely does limit the Packers as far as their explosive playability goes, as with Watson on the field, the Packers offense is first in yards per route run and explosive plays per route run, while they're middle of the pack in both those categories with Watson off the field. So losing him is undoubtedly a huge blow, and that's not even mentioning Jordan Love's injury, which although it won't keep him out of the game, there is a possibility that it could limit him. And that's not even mentioning the fact that Love has been very inconsistent this year and definitely has not played his best ball recently. So like I said, I still think the Green Bay passing game presents a challenge, but they do definitely have their weaknesses that the Eagles defense should hopefully be able to take advantage of. And I honestly think that the more pressing concern for the Eagles defense is going to be stopping Josh Jacobs in the Packers run game, as I honestly think that Jacobs could be the Packers X factor for this matchup. So don't worry, we're going to get into that and so much more in just a minute, but real quick I do want to say, if you are enjoying this video and you don't want to miss any other Eagles coverage or content just like this coming throughout the rest of the entire playoffs and also moving forward after that, then make sure you guys subscribe and also really importantly turn on notifications so you're notified instantly when one of these videos is uploaded. Trust me, you guys are not going to want to miss any of the Eagles coverage I got coming on this channel. I cover the Birds pretty much daily here, so if you want to stay up to date on all the latest Eagles news, this is the spot. So again, subscribe and turn on notifications, and also drop a like because that really does help me out a ton. Let's see if we can get to 600 likes on this video. And now, with all that being said, let's get back into the video. So as I was saying, the Eagles' biggest focus on defense against the Packers needs to be slowing down Josh Jacobs in the run game, because that's really where their offense starts, as they were the 5th ranked rushing attack in the league this year, and Josh Jacobs in his first year with Green Bay finished 6th in the NFL in rushing with 1,329 yards and also 15 touchdowns to go along with it. it. And again, really their entire offense starts with the run game because a lot of their passing game is set up off of that. And that's why I see Josh Jacobs as probably the Packers' X factor in this one, as if he gets going, then the entire Packers offense will greatly benefit. But on the contrary, if Vic Fangio's unit can slow him down, then that should throw a wrench into their entire offensive game plan. And ahead of the matchup, Vic Fangio spoke about the Packers' run game and what makes them so challenging.
Well, they got a really good line to begin with. I think their 5-0 linemen have been in there for every play, I think. Number one. Number two, they have a great back. Jacobs has had as good a year as anybody. And he's hard to tackle, runs physical. And they have the play-pass game off of it. So they have really good big play receivers that you're always worried about. And the combination of them being to throw it down the field and run it is a tough combination. We've had good games and not so. We've had in between. We'll be tested this week. These guys run it very, very well.
Yeah, I mean, there's no question that the Eagles' run defense is going to be tested this week. And they need to step up because, again, the run game is really what makes the Packers' offense go. So if they can shut that down, then that'll likely ruin Green Bay's offensive game plan and give the Birds a great chance at winning this game. And honestly, with what I've seen from the Eagles defense this year, I'm pretty confident that they can do that as long as they play up to their standard. And one of the main reasons I have so much confidence in this Eagles defense is because of the guy running the show. And obviously, I'm talking about the veteran defensive coordinator Vic Fangio, who in his first year in Philly managed to take a unit that was ranked towards the bottom of the league last year and fully young and unproven players and turn them into the best defense in the entire NFL. I mean, you really just cannot overstate how good of a job that Fangio has done this season, and there's no denying that he's super valuable to this Eagles team. And that's why the news they got yesterday regarding the DC is just so amazing, as when asked if he was interested in leaving to take a head coaching job elsewhere, Fangio said this.
I'm happy to be here right now.
Yeah, so there you go. It's confirmed. Vic Fangio is not going anywhere, and I could not be happier about it. And I mean, this is kind of what we thought, right? That Fangio wanted to finish out his coaching career here in Philly as the defensive coordinator, but to hear him actually say that and confirm that he doesn't want to go anywhere is just amazing, and it gives me confidence that moving into the future, the Eagles defense should really only continue to get better and build on what they've been able to do this year. So again, that's amazing, and in this game against the Packers specifically, I have full confidence in Fangio's unit to get the job done. And ahead of the game, the general consensus across the board seems to be that Philly has the clear advantage, and in respective appearances on WIP and K Adams' Up and Adams show, multiple former Eagles in Jaws and Darren Sproles just predicted that the Birds should come up with an easy win.
It's gonna be a blowout. We're playing at home too?
Yes.
Yeah.
A blowout.
A blowout.
I see no way the Packers beat the Eagles.
Well, hold on. Wow. You see no way.
No way, Joe.
Okay. Wow. Wow. That is really a hell of a statement, Jaws. I mean, give me a little bit more on why. That shocks me.
Well, I think Jordan Love is overrated. He's a solid quarterback, but he's overrated. They're going to be one of their wide receivers in Watson, who's a guy that they can get the ball to, and Jordan Love likes to get the ball to. I just, when I look at them defensively, they're good on defense, but I think when we're healthy, and then Saquon Barkley, I'm thinking of watching the tape last night when I went through it. Saquon Barkley, that was his first game. He was just getting a feel for this offense. We didn't see a 2,005-yard rusher that week one. This offensive line will dominate up front. The wide receivers, I just see inability to stop it. But I'm telling you, this team is really, really good. It's young, it's fast, it's aggressive, it's now well coached. Vic Fangio's done a tremendous job of turning his defense around at every level of defense, defensive line, linebackers, secondary, all good, young, fast players that will whack you when they get the opportunity to do it.
Yeah, I mean, as much as I don't want to be overconfident, I am very much in agreement that the Eagles are the far better team. And again, as long as they play up to their standard and they don't hurt themselves, then they should be able to get the victory. With that said, what do you guys think? Just how confident are you in this Eagles team just a few days away from the Packers matchup? You can let me know all your thoughts down in the comments below. And also, while you're at it, again, make sure you guys subscribe and turn on notifications if you don't want to miss anything. And also drop a like as well to show some support, because it really does help me out a ton, guys, and it takes 2 seconds. Again, let's see if we can get to 600 likes today. And if you want to watch another Eagles video going over some stuff from earlier in the week, you can check this out right here. And now with all that being said, that's pretty much all I got for this one, guys. So thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.